You start a new run on The Binding of Isaac. The gameplay, items, the music, the enemies, the atmosphere. Perfect. Binding of Isaac is arguably one of the darkest and weirdest games of all time. You play as a little kid trying to escape his mom who's trying to kill them. Whilst running, you fight disfigured and mutated versions of yourself that you fend off with your own tears. The tears you can alter via items you pick up, most of which disfigure Isaac little by little, whether it's putting a clothes hanger through your head or just hurting yourself with a razor blade. You might think, who the hell thought of this? Isaac came from the mind of Edmund McMillen, a game dev who's responsible for multiple big names, Isaac, Fingered, Super Meat Boy, and The End Is Nigh, and the upcoming Mugenics, all of which are disturbingly weird games, which is pretty on brand for Edmund. Edmund was born March 2nd of 1980 in Santa Cruz. He has always been into drawing monsters, thus the incredible amount of them in his games. My favorite and the very best, Duke of Flies. Absolute freaking go right there. At the ripe age of 18, he'd released the comic Dead Babies, which, believe it or not, contained drawings of dead babies, all of which are dead in comical ways. My favorite, Bowling Ball. If you know, you know. Anyways, he'd start developing indie games in the early 2000s, one of them, Gish, actually earning an award in 2004. These lesser-known games are part of the Basement Collection on Steam. Finally, in 2010, he'd strike gold with an insanely hard platformer known as Super Meat Boy. Super Meat Boy was a giant in the indie space, as it should be. You play as a cute boy with no skin known as Meat Boy, trying to save his girlfriend, Bandage Girl, from the evil Dr. Fetus. Yeah, Edmund's written all over it. The game sold over 1 million copies by 2012, but Edmund was not done yet. The next year, 2011, he would release an even bigger game, The Binding of Isaac, a flash game he made with inspiration from The Legend of Zelda, and oh my god, it slaps. When I say it did well, I mean it did really freaking well, getting so much notoriety in the space. Even getting a DLC the next year in 2012, Wrath of the Lamb. The game, over time, would evolve into what we have now, which is easily my favorite game of all time, and the roguelike, spawning a spin-off game and even its very own card game. But Edmund still wasn't done. In 2017, he released The End Is Nigh. Instead of Team Meat, he partnered with Nicholas, which was the less controversial of the two. It was like a much more evolved version of Meat Boy. While it wasn't nearly as popular as the previous two games, it was equally as good. Now, as of 2025, we are all waiting for February of 2026 for Mugenics. Based on a comic from 2012, Mugenics is a turn-based strategy game that looks beyond fantastic. If you follow Edmund on TikTok, you would have seen how amazing the game looks.
Hit me up and I'll voice a kitty cat if you want me to. Pretty please, Edmund. Pretty please, please, pretty please.